Hello, everyone. Well, it is a sad day. You've had the death of a retiree. So now what do? Well, stand by and I'll show you. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Well, this moment comes for us all, and now it's time to know what to do about it. You've had a retiree in your family pass away, and now you need to report it to DFAS somehow. So what's the best way to do that? Well, you could get on the phone and wait for a long time, or you could spend a couple of minutes on the internet and do it very quickly. So let me show you how to do it the fast way, and then you can move on with other parts of dealing with this part of your life. You've got more important things to do than stay on the phone, or at least you've got other calls that you need to make. So at least you can take care of this little piece in a quick, efficient manner. So I'm going to switch over to the web browser and let you see what's going on. For those of you on the podcast, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see what's going on. I'll just try to explain what's happening, and then you can get a feel for it, and hopefully you can switch over to YouTube at a better time and see what's going on. So let's switch over to the website. All right, so now we have loaded the page, and it's got this little DoD consent disclaimer. We're fine with that. We'll just click agree and move on. So now we've got a list of categories. We're not going to worry about them all. Well, I'll go ahead and read them so the people on the podcast know what's going on. For categories, we have all categories, annuity pay, casualty, for branch of service use only, retired pay, and retired pay new accounts. So we are going to worry about retired pay. So we're entering that section. And we get a long list of options, long meaning about a dozen. And I'm not going to read all of those. I'm just going to go straight into notification of death because that's why we're here. So we'll go in the notification of death. And it is a simple form that needs to be completed. It's not complicated at all. And I am actually going to complete this for a real retiree. Of course, I'm going to blur out his critical information as I do this, just for privacy purposes. And I'm going to blur out some of mine as well. I do plan to tell you guys who I really am, for those who haven't found on one part of the website where I accidentally put my real name. But for those who have not, at one point I will announce who I am, but not today. That'll be a little bit in the future. Alright, so what I have done so far is I've entered my name in the name category, and I'm entering my email address for the second time. Now I get down to where I actually enter the retiree's information, and I'm having to switch back and forth between my cell phone here, where I've got some notes on the retiree. I don't have his actual death certificate or any of that with me. Wait, one thing I do need to do. I create a passcode so that I can follow up on this particular help ticket. That's what I'm doing here. I'm creating a help ticket. So for this, I'll make something up. And the ticket has to be, a certain number of characters long, and can have any number of special characters, but we're not going to get too complex here. All right, so I've created a passcode, And now I'm going to put the person's information so that DFAS actually knows what to do. I'm going to move pretty quickly here. I'm not going to belabor any of these points so that we can finish up with this section. All right. So I've entered the name, and fortunately the SSN is blurred out. The next major piece is entering the date of death for this individual. He passed away on the 20th. The next question is it asks what was the cause of death, and the options that it has available are natural, homicide, pending, or other. In his case, it was natural. It then asks if the retiree was married, and the answer is yes. The next question is, are you the spouse? Well, no. Now, enter date of marriage. Well, if spouse, enter date of marriage. Well, I am not the spouse, so I will not be answering that. So, what is your relation to the retiree? It has a lot of family options, and I'm going to select other. And now it wants a street address, and I'm going to fill in a whole bunch of information there. Do some autofill, which I'm, of course, going to blur out for my own privacy reasons. But I've actually already finished this form. So now all I do is come to the bottom and hit submit. Oh, it doesn't like my passcode, so let's see what it wants. Must be 9 characters and include an upper. Okay, upper and lowercase. So I had everything in lowercase. So I'll just change that a little bit and then come back and hit submit again. And now I've successfully submitted the ticket, and it gives me a ticket number, a link to the ticket, and it gives me a one-time reminder of my passcode. And this is something that anybody can do. So we'll come back to the video now. All right, so like you saw, this is something anyone can do. So if you have a family member who is a military retiree pass away, you can go to this website, and in just a few minutes, even if you're a slow typist, you can complete a notification of death to DFAS and at least give them the initial notification. They are still going to want a death certificate, but this at least gives them the initial notification, and you can follow up with the death certificate when you meet with a retirement services officer or a survivor outreach services coordinator to get the survivor benefits package started, or at a minimum, the arrears of pay, which is the last month of retired pay, be it a full month or a partial month. So you can at least follow up with a death certificate at that point, and then DFAS is completely satisfied. And for those who might not know what DFAS is, since I do like to explain what acronyms mean, DFAS is the Defense Finance and Accounting Service. They handle all financial transactions for Department of Defense. And no, that's not the Coast Guard. And the Marines are kind of a weirdo. They have their own little thing going on. Not quite sure what they do. Well, they're part of the Navy, so that's what they do. All right, so you saw that a notification of death is very simple and easy to do. Well, that's redundant, so it's very simple, and anyone can do it. So you don't have to spend half an hour on hold trying to get to someone at a call center. You can just do it yourself here in less time than it took to watch this video. So there you go. And I'll even post the address one more time here at the bottom of the screen. It's pretty long and kind of weird. And I'll also put it in the show notes just so you have it one more time. All right. So that's actually it for this week. I just wanted something quick and easy so that you've got something a bit useful. And I'll admit I was a bit rushed this week, so I wanted something quick for myself as well, and this seemed like a perfect choice. So this is a good tool. Hopefully you don't have to use it very often, but be you a family member or a retirement services officer, this is something good to have in your back pocket just in case. All right, so that's all for this week. Please check out the other videos I have in my inventory. If you like this video, then please hit the like button down at the bottom here. And if you have not already hit this little button over here to subscribe, then please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're out there on the podcast and you're listening to this by some kind of fluke and you haven't subscribed already, then please do so as well. All right, so I'm not going to beat you to death with a whole bunch of extra stuff this week. I'm just going to run off and do some other stuff. So, as always, I thank you for being a part of this audience, and I thank you for your service. Have a great week.
If you liked what you heard on today's episode, then please go below and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please let other people know about this channel and the information it can provide for them. If you have questions or comments, then have no qualms about posting them in the comments section below. Please remember the RC Retirement YouTube channel and the RC Retirement website are not recognized or endorsed by the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any other government agency. The information presented in these resources are for entertainment and informational purposes only. Also, the content of either of these resources should not be considered financial or legal advice. Please consult with your own legal counsel, accountant, and financial planner before making any decisions based on what you have learned here. As always, thank you for watching the RC Retirement YouTube channel.